It is Wednesday. It is 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. We do this every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And we talk about insulin resistance. I just put gloss on my lips. Excuse me. Insulin resistance. And we've done this for like over a year, like a year and a half, you guys. This has been great. So welcome in. Today we're going to talk about sleep and the connection. Are you not sleeping? Are you not sleeping? This is such a big question. Let me know if you're on the replay and let me know where you're coming in from. I would love to hear. That would be fantastic. And FYI, I'll just tell you right at the top of the hour so that if anybody doesn't stay till the end, I have, I want to get my number right. I'm just going to say I have a very small, I have a few bottles. I'm just going to put it that way because I'm waiting to see, I might get more of the glucose product. Now, if you are looking to get your sugars down, your insulin down, etc., that is where you start. They've been out of stock almost all summer in the United States. They are in stock in Canada. But it is such a phenomenal product. So there's a mixture between its popularity and it's kind of like a little natural OZ, if you know what I mean, because it does help with sugar control, sugar cravings and appetite control, but also bringing down insulin and sugars. Okay, I don't want to say too much because I really only have a few bottles, but if you need one of those, you can message me. I just do Venmo and then I ship it out to you. Okay, we're going to move on because otherwise I'm going to get myself into trouble. Popularity, and I believe there's an ingredient that they are very picky, you guys. I don't want to go on and on. I'm actually going to do a Christmas in July presentation tonight on some of the stuff that I talked to you guys about. And it's just amazing because when you find somebody who will not do synthetic crap and they use real plants for everything, it's like, it's amazing. Okay, so can't sleep. All right, maybe this is you. Tell me in the comments below. Let me ask you this. Do you finally crash at night, but then you wake up at 2 or 3 a.m.? 2 or 3 a.m. Say yes, me in the comments below. Eyes wide open, mind racing, and your body is uncomfortable and you cannot fall back to sleep. Is that you? You've tried all the tips. You've Googled melatonin. I have a feeling this is some of you. You've been maybe even begged your doctor for something stronger. And then there are some that like you'll text me and you'll tell me that you've been taking like Benadryl. And that's not very helpful, right? We don't want to be doing that. We really don't, because then that's just, you're exacerbating the issue. But anyway, let's just go on and I'll help you. I will help you. But here's what most women do not know. When your insulin is dysregulated, and you guys know the difference between the blood sugar and the insulin, right? The sugar in the blood, glucose in the blood, that's what's energy. And insulin is a hormone that's released by your pancreas to go get the energy and to bring it into your cell. So this is all a cellular conversation. Everything is cellular. And because insulin is a hormone, it's a hormonal conversation. All right. So now you guys, like this is affecting your sleep. The fact that you can't budge 1 pound of fat. Maybe you're even anxious or sad, if you know what I mean. There are all sorts of issues that come from the trunk of the tree of insulin resistance. And today we're talking about sleep. The liver is a part of that, Lisa, for sure. Always. Good to see you. Very good to see you. So if your insulin is dysregulated, you guys, you know what your sleep is going to be too. Like that is going to be par for the course. So let me explain what's actually going on in your body and what finally helped me to stop dreading nighttime. And I will tell you that when I was raising my kids, I do not know why in my 30s, I don't know why. I was very concerned that I wasn't going to get enough sleep. Maybe because I didn't feel like the strongest mother. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what was it, but I was always so concerned about it. And I remember being on the phone with my girlfriends and we would talk about this and we would be like, yeah, if I get less than, remember when phones were a little more like this? Do you remember? Yeah, if I get less than 6 hours, I just feel sick. I just feel terrible. I just feel, and we would talk like this all the time. We were in our 30s. Why were we like so freaked out about not sleeping well enough when we were like supposed to be in the prime of our energy? Well, I will tell you, for me, I was completely treating my body like trash. I was, driving it like a rental car. And so my sleep was precarious, but I had no idea the connections. I had no idea. So insulin resistance is not just about weight gain or prediabetes, although it is a part of it, right? We talk about the belly fat all the time. It's like insulin belly, cortisol belly. And then we talk about the fact that you can't burn 1 pound of that because your insulin is high or your liver is tired. If your liver is sluggish, excuse me, I got to take a drink of my water. If your liver is sluggish or if your insulin is high, your fat burning switch turned off, just like that. Okay. But it hijacks, insulin resistance hijacks your nervous system and your hormone rhythm. So I need that to kind of settle in on you for just a second. Our nervous system takes such a hit. We have a lot of stress going on. We have access to a lot of stressful information, just a lot. And I just don't think we were ever really wired to take in that level of stress and chaos sometimes. So like, for instance, right now, here we are in July, the end of July, 2025. And there is an earthquake that just took place over by Russia. And now there are tsunami alerts across the world in different countries and in some of the states here, like Alaska, Hawaii, etc. And that's very like, you take that in, you're like, or recently we had a lot of flooding in Texas and that was very tragic. And we take that in and we're like, and that coupled with the fact that we have hormone dysregulation, like our insulin, etc., it's literally hijacking our nervous system. And so we wake up in the middle of the night and we're like, and we just can't get back to sleep. We just have so much going on, right? But it's a hormone rhythm. So when your blood sugar spikes and crashes all day long, if this is what you're doing as an insulin resistant person, or you're doing that prior to being an insulin resistant person, your body struggles to regulate your cortisol and your melatonin. And it's like, why can't I sleep? Because your body is trying so hard to regulate your cortisol and your melatonin hormones, right? 2 key sleep hormones. And I've said it so many times, you guys, when I was in my 40s and I was hitting perimenopause and I did not know that all of this was connected, like insulin seems to be the first dysregulated hormone. And I'm not saying this from a scientific perspective. Seemingly, this is true. Like your insulin hormone goes upside down and then it just topples like dominoes, all the other hormones. And then you might feel a little crazy in your head. And you're thinking, why can't I multitask? Why is my brain fog so strong? Why am I feeling pieces of anxiety? I've never been somebody who was anxious before. Why am I feeling sad? Why do I wake up and I have that sadness? And for me, that it mimicked postpartum. And I'm like, what's going on? Well, it's all of the dysregulated hormones, and that dysregulated insulin is causing some pretty big issues. So your nervous system is trying so hard to regulate your insulin and your cortisol and your melatonin and and it just can't do it, right? So poor sleep then worsens. Waking up at 2 to 4 a.m., that's often your liver and your cortisol saying, I'm stressed and I need fuel. So going back to what Lisa said, yes, your liver is like a workhorse. It's just like a beefy organ. It's like, I can do it. I can do it all. That's what your liver does. And it literally does everything for you. Everything that you want, your liver is willing to give you if you will support your liver, which then is connected to the whole gut conversation. So this is why I talk a lot about liver gut insulin, okay? This is our life right here in this little corner of the world. So your liver regulates your hormones when it's not sluggish. And insulin is a hormone, melatonin, GLP-1, cortisol, okay? It also regulates the glucose in your blood when it's not sluggish, okay? It also burns fat. It's your fat metabolizing organ. And I'm thinking we want that. Is that maybe something it's on our list? So it'll do that for you when it's not sluggish, okay? So this is how that goes. So poor sleep worsens your insulin resistance. So now here we go with the cycle. Now poor sleep is going to worsen your insulin resistance the next day. And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I just want a Snicker bar. Like I'm just craving sugar. Oh man, God, I just want chocolate all day. And it might be because you didn't sleep last night. So now you're craving sugar all day. You're skipping your workout because you're like, oh man, whoo. Or you're like at work and you're feeling like I was when I had to go to work full time. Never mind. I homeschooled for 20 years. My husband lost his job. The economy crashed. We lost everything. I went back to work and in my 40s, and I realized how like I wasn't able to multitask very well. And that made me feel very vulnerable. I don't know if you've experienced that before, where you just feel like, geez, I hope nobody knows how like I'm not really connecting the dots in my head. Because your brain fog is like, what is going on right now? I used to be smart. Am I dumb? No, you're not. Is this what it means to just get old? Is this just what it is like to get older? And we start like justifying and thinking this is normal. We place it in the normal box, and that's not true. And you can turn it around. It just becomes this very vicious cycle. So you might be thinking to yourself, like, because these are conversations that I have with you. It's like, but I eat well, I eat healthy, I eat clean. So if I'm not eating badly today, why am I having a hard time sleeping tonight? That like, if what you're saying is true, that this is a hormonal dysregulation and then what I eat matters, then how come I'm still having a hard time sleeping, whatever. Or I finally fall asleep and then boom, wide awake and anxious at 3 a.m. I'd love to know. Put that in the comments if that is you. I would love to know. I'm going to make sure I'm not missing anything here. Hold on. Good morning, Patty. My video doesn't show up at 9 a.m. You catch it about 8 minutes after. Isn't that crazy, Patty? I wonder why that is. Good morning, by the way, sweet lady, to you too. You used to get an invite. Oh, Patty, you bring up such an interesting conversation. For real, you guys, notifications are like just bum. They're just lame. And especially in the Facebook group, I just tell people, you know what, you're going to have to just start putting stuff on your phone to remind you the time. And then like why you can't find it, I don't know. That's so weird. Maybe that's a StreamYard thing. So I use StreamYard because it then brings me to 2 Facebook pages and my YouTube all at the same time. And maybe it's a third-party stream thing. It's good for me to know that, though. I appreciate that. But yes, the invites, you may or may not get them. I don't know. It's just the way that it is. Sorry. I wish that were different. I really do. So when you wake up at 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning and you have that anxiety, that's that whole cortisol. Thank you. Is that Cheryl in the house? Cheryl, thank you. I appreciate you so much. That anxiety, this is all a piece of the puzzle. So stop thinking that there's something wrong with you. That was my number one question to my husband for a very, 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 very long time, probably right around my mid 40s until my early 50s. I was constantly saying, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? And he was just like, honey, stop it. Nothing's wrong with you. He just didn't want me to speak negatively like that over myself. And he's right. And I had to change my words. But then I also had to start working from the inside out. Okay. That's why we talk about this all the time. No female should be running around feeling like she's crazy. Don't do that. Right. Or maybe your doctor offered you a sleep med, but you don't want to mask the problem. You don't want to rely and be dependent upon something like that. This is a major, major issue. And I will tell you that even though I never did do that, just from a very generic outsider perspective of scripts in general, scripts always, always, always have a side effect. There is not a script that doesn't have a side effect. And it has to be, your liver has to bear the burden of whatever you're taking with prescription. Then you're back in that cycle again. So that's just kind of what I want to say about that. So if you are constantly taking, scripts or even over the counter meds, like a lot of NSAIDs or whatever, and your liver is having to like take the brunt of that, now we need to support your gut and your liver even more, like even just another bigger reason for you to actually take action on that right now today, right? And maybe you just feel like you're doing everything right and you're just so exhausted. You're just like, I'm just done with this cycle. Like, this is too much for me, right? So what helped me? Well, I would say that I didn't understand that the reason why I was having a hard time sleeping had to do with my insulin resistance. That's number one. I had no idea. And so when I did start to eat differently and I began to trade out my food ingredients and stop spiking my sugar and calling on insulin, my sleep immediately began to get better, but it didn't happen overnight for me. And then I was still having, so it would space out how long it was in between maybe having 2 or 3 nights of not like waking up at 3, 4 in the morning and losing a couple hours. Do you know what that feels like? Anybody? Bueller? It's not fun because then you feel like, I don't know. I feel like we then tell ourselves, oh, this is just what it means to be an older female. Like this is just menopause or this is just whatever. But no, it's not. I had to become way more metabolically stable, way more metabolically flexible. That's my word. In order for me to really start to see gains in my sleep. But then of course I have added in different sleep helps with like supplementation. Now I've said it before and a lot of you catch me on it because you either agree with it or you try it for yourself and then you agree with me. Sometimes there are some people that can do melatonin. Because remember, your melatonin is getting messed up because of your insulin resistance. So some people can do melatonin. I just can't. The one that I have, I don't know if it's just stronger than everybody else's. I really don't know, but it makes me feel drunk. And so I can't do it. So I don't like that feeling. It keeps me fuzzy till noon the next day. I'm just a lightweight. I don't know what to tell you. Either that or maybe that's just one hormone that I have that's in balance and it's making it just over. I don't know. So I went the melatonin route. I went the stinky herb route, which I do appreciate. It had its place for me for a while, and that is I have a sleep health product. It's just a tablet, and you take I think 3 of them right before you go to bed, and they're just stinky, but they're natural and they're plants, and it really actually helped me quite a bit. I would say that that then. At that same time I was doing that, I started to take magnesium. And magnesium is something that you don't just take, like, don't go to the store and get a citrate because that's just going to help you poop, which is good, but that's not going to help you sleep. You need a glycinate to help you sleep. And I just happen to have, thank you for tapping the screen. Thank you. I just happen to have a triple blend that I love. Mwah, chef's kiss. And it has something to help with the leg cramping and that restless leg piece. It helps with the sleep piece. And there is a tiny little bit in there that will help with digestion, which is very helpful. But then there's also a little bit of an extract, an olive extract that helps with your heart. Okay, so that's the magnesium that I take now. I take that. Let's see if I've got some on me. Because I've been traveling so much this summer, it's in my regular, because I take them at night. It's in my regular supplement dollar store tray. So these are the magnesium that I take. And then over time, I replaced my stinky herbs with, I take 2 ashwagandha. And this ashwagandha is phenomenal. Please don't buy herbs that are not off of organic farms. Please don't do that to your body. Please, pretty please, with sugar on top. Like, you're just taking concentrated plants. And if they've been sprayed with glyphosate, no bueno. Just a little side note there for you, a little thought process. So these are the magnesium and these are the ashwagandha. Here, I'll just do one of each so you can see. There is a difference in the size for people who like to know the size. Okay. So I do 2 of these each, and this has changed my sleep. 2, 2. This has changed my sleep completely at 60 years old. Actually, it started at 59. Bedtime is now my favorite time of the day. I'm not even joking. It's my favorite time of the day. I get to, not just because I'm exhausted, nothing like that, just because I know that I'll take my supplementation, I'll do my skincare, I crawl into bed and I know I'm going to sleep. I have assurance that I'm going to sleep. And I know that when I wake up at 3, 4 in the morning to go to the bathroom, because who doesn't? I'm just going to go right back to sleep again. And it is very rare that I wake up and can't get back to sleep. It is very rare. And usually it's just like there's something I need to be praying about. Something that has stolen my peace, maybe. And I just need to pray about it. Or I just feel led to pray for somebody. And the last thing that I think that I would say for a nighttime routine, you can do like typical things, like you can drink a chamomile tea. I have a chamomile tea. You can stop using your screens by like 9 p.m. so that your melatonin can like kick into gear. That's a piece of why putting screens down, it's not just a discipline. It's literally so that your body can go into melatonin creation. And that's very, very helpful, right? You can make sure that you are not eating. When I teach grain, sugar, and legume free so that you're not spiking your sugars and calling on insulin, like this is a piece of the puzzle, and you will begin to sleep better and better because of your food choices when you're focusing on high protein, etc. The last thing that I think that I would say for that I added into my Rose, I will do that when I get off. You betcha. She says, please send me your blueprint for reset and remove insulin resistance. I will do that, Rose. The last thing that I added into my regimen, which was last December, was I take 2 turmeric at night. And the turmeric that is in the line that I share with you guys, it's actually like 45 times more absorbable than another one. The reason why you want to know that is just because we think that everything absorbs normal and natural, and that's not true. And turmeric is one of those. But I take 2 at night because it is going to help with that inflammation. But more than that, your liver is detoxing at night. And so I want to help the detoxification process. I'm just telling you. Now, before I started taking turmeric, this turmeric, I woke up and I didn't ache because of the way that I eat and the way that I supplement. And I'm 60 and I'm grateful. So I actually don't know if this would take away aching for somebody. And I'm not going to say that it will, because I don't want to make claims, but I will tell you that the front of the bottle says that it helps with aches and pains. So it would be something for somebody to try. Okay. Because when you have something that's highly absorbable like that, and it's working on your liver overnight, that's a benefit. So those are the 3 that I take every single night: 2 magnesium, 2 ashwagandha, and 2 turmeric. And like I said, that's my favorite nighttime routine for that. I do a couple of other things too, but I feel like I just overwhelm people. I do a very potent vitamin C, and then I actually take, I have a premium multivitamin, multimineral phytonutrient that is whole food, plant-based, and not synthetic. And I will take 1 of those servings before I go to bed. And this is me. I like my body to work for me. But I'm the same way in my house. Like, I want to turn on the dishwasher and the dryer before I go to bed or before I leave the house. Like, I want things working for me when I'm not working. Is anybody else like this? I mean, is it just me? I know it's not just me. Is the turmeric okay with some sensitive stomachs? Joyce, that's a good question. I'm going to put that up there because that's a good question. I'm trying to think now. I'm going into the recesses of my brain and see if anybody has told me they've been sensitive. Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of. I'm trying to think if there would be. I just don't think so, because it's really going to be more of a liver, like a liver supporter and an inflammation bringer downer. Such a technical conversation. And so I feel like it's not going to be, I just haven't had that, but I could see why that wouldn't be. Think of it like this. Here, I'll give it to you like this. So when I talk to people about the gut primer, this is such a huge piece of the world for anybody. If you're trying to do your liver and your gut, the gut primer is huge. There's turmeric and ginger in here with the fermented greens and the alkaline spices, etc. So on the tummy, it's very gentle and bioavailable to help people deal with their gastrointestinal tract every single day and get everything moving. So it's going to be anti-inflammatory, not agitating. I hope that answers your question. It is a really exceptional turmeric, and it's USDA certified organic. So it's really, really good. But those are some things that you can do to shift your sleep. And I will tell you, if you can nail your sleep, you are going to eliminate so many other pieces of your puzzle. I want people to hear that. It is not normal to lose sleep night after night after night. It is not healthy to be losing sleep because your insulin resistance gets worse and your cortisol goes up. And it is not, it's not about, that's not like you're just getting old. You're just in perimenopause, menopause. This is normal. Don't receive that message. That's a lame message. Why am I sleeping better at 60 than I've ever slept in my entire life? Right? Like, this is an internal conversation that we have to have for ourselves. Okay? Because we can actually control how our body is detoxing and funneling everything through it. We can control whether or not we're trying to get our cortisol to go down. The ashwagandha, I didn't even maybe say this very clearly, but ashwagandha, if you've never taken that before, it is very specifically to help with sleep, stress, and mood. It brings your cortisol down. And it works on your inner system so that you sleep better. Like, it's a really big deal. And those things, I'm just convinced that God gave us these answers, these adaptogenic herbs. I've been taking adaptogenic herbs since like my 40s. They like changed my life. That's why, like, if you follow me in my stories, you'll see me take my purple packet. And my purple packet, this is a side note. My purple packet has 3 supplements inside of it. It has an adaptogenic herb with green tea extract. And I have taken this forever, and it really helped me. Oopsie, this one really helped me with my brain fog and my like my inability to multitask. But then over time, it helped to balance out my hormones. And so I was taking, probably, because you can buy it separately, I was taking this probably 3 to 4 of these a day. And I was just shocked at how it helped me. That's just a side note. But then I have all of my 8B vitamins time released and one for memory. Like, there are things that you can do to regulate what's going on inside of your body. And God gave us these answers. And it's not a mistake that they're not telling you about this at the doctor's office. That's not a mistake. That's an intentional, coordinated event, because they have their own answer, and it is synthetic. It is not a plant, and it is making them a lot of money. Okay, hold on, I missed something. Oh, Lisa, thank you. So Lisa says, I feel like I have a sensitive stomach and I have used the turmeric before. I only went off. Oh, yep. Because you feel it's a good supplement. Okay, so for budget reasons, you went off, but it was okay on your stomach. Sharon said, same. Oh, she's the same. When she leaves the house, she likes her clothes and her dishes washing while she's out. However, you're not taking can't. I don't know what that is, Sharon. That's so funny. Oh, the bottles are hard to read the print. Ashwagandha. You're not taking ashwagandha. Oh, got it. That is so funny. I knew I wasn't the only one. I'm a multitasker. I just am saying. So that should probably help you, Joyce. So Lisa, and I do think that I would agree that Lisa has definitely, as we've walked her journey with supplementation, definitely has maybe some sensitivities. So I hope that answers your question for that. But anyway, but if you are looking for something to be able to help you sleep, I do have on my site, I have the duo, I have the magnesium and the ashwagandha together. And you can grab that and you can see for yourself. And remember, all of the products have a 60-day guarantee. So never feel like you're ever taking a risk, because they will give you money back. No questions. No questions. You don't have to verify anything. And 6 months is a long time to test out a sleeping duo. You can test out the magnesium and ashwagandha as a duo every single night for 6 months and still get your money back if this is not something that's working for you. Do you understand? Like, that's really a big deal. And nobody would ever give you that kind of a guarantee if they didn't think things would work for you. So I just want you to know that. But the turmeric, you can always look that up. If you would like a cart where I put together the ashwagandha, magnesium, turmeric for you, just message me sleep. I'll put those 3 in a cart and I'll send those to you. Now, tomorrow we're going to go ahead and do another episode at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And, I was going to look at my calendar and I didn't, and I will have to do that. I'll announce it tomorrow. The August challenge. It's, I think, going to be the 3rd week of August. It's in the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. Do not hesitate to get in there and to set your alarm for those days. 3 p.m. Central Standard Time every day for 5 days. I go live. You have not tried the turmeric at night, but that is a great idea. Sharon, I don't know if it's available in Canada. I don't know if it's available in Canada. You'll have to let me know because I'm not positive. Not everything has launched over. And it's like, I'm sorry. And governments have different rules and regulations on their ingredients. So you just don't know. That's the way it is. All right, Joyce, I will send that to you. And then Rose, I will send you the blueprint and the reset information. As you guys are following along, I can tell you guys are watching other days because you're asking for different things. And that's amazing. That's great. Let's get you guys set up so that you can function, like take back your life and take back your health. Like, I don't know, what would it feel like to have less doctor appointments or maybe less meds or, just more brain space and more enjoyment of life without all the inflammation and feeling like trash all the time. And you can, but there is that 2-part puzzle. Remember, it's food ingredient trade outs. That's the blueprint that I put together, the protein blueprint. But then it is the targeted supplementation. It is the fixing from inside out and not just throwing supplements in your cupboard and taking everything in sight, but being very specific so that you can actually feel the results and get the results and track them. Because boy, that feels good. So, all right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have the best day ever on the face of the planet. Love you guys. Have a fabulous day, Patty. See you later.